couple months ago on this channel, we praised Neon for doing the unthinkable, which was changing the direction of his entire career. He's trying to change the narrative about himself from being that old, young kid who would say the most outrageous things on the internet, you know, getting the most outrageous attention and all that stuff like that, to being somebody who is matured and moved past that. But this most recent interview that a lot of people think has The Breakfast Club looking bad has me questioning, is Neon really ready for this new limelight?
Like, I'm not gonna lie, your chat is wild racist.
Yo, they right there. They like
it's black monkey, watermelon, emoji.
I'm literally looking and I don't see any of that.
What? It's like they race baiting. Short hair monkey, they race baiting.
You also have to understand this isn't my this is the internet. This is not just my chat, my community, right? This is the internet. The internet, just like me back then, would say whatever they want.
Yeah.
So this isn't like a representation of me, obviously.
Oh, Neon, if that's your chat, why not just disassociate totally? Just say Neon had been on a tear up until this point. He had been on different streams with a bunch of different new creators, distancing himself from his old ways, showing that he had a new personality out there, doing, you know, good, fun, kind-hearted things with football players, even putting rappers onto the main stage like LaMelo Ball. And any type of interview that he did, he was dispelling a bunch of narratives about who he was, facing those hard-hitting questions, you know, head on. Hell, we even believed it at one point in time.
Before, I was just on the streets, messing around, trolling people, like just farming like what I could, but then I realized,
hey bro, that's a funny looking dude, bro.
success just brings you hate. When you do it so much, it starts to become what people really think about you. It's hard to...
Young nigga done got fresh though.
This bullshit is turning his life around. That was just 4 months ago. And so the whole year of 2025, he had been taking opportunities to rebrand himself. So naturally, it makes sense for him to go on such a...
It's gonna be hard for that nigga to rebrand himself though. That nigga done faked his death. He done did a whole bunch of racist shit. Like, it's gonna be hard as hell for that nigga to rebrand himself.
Publication like The Breakfast Club, and I know people have been discrediting The Breakfast Club, but no matter what you look at, they are still topping the charts, whether it be in podcasting, whether it be in radio. They still command a voice. I know it might be for unks, but hey, unks still listen. Going to The Breakfast Club was a big peak milestone, and I think that it was a perfect platform for Neon to go on for a couple of different reasons. One, they're big, like I said, in the black community. It would be a perfect place for him to go and address some of the things that he said about the black community, and ultimately, you know, ask for forgiveness. And I know people don't like to hear that, but ultimately get forgiveness or clearance. And two, I believe that Charlamagne the God and Neon are mirror images of each other. Both of them did a...
I don't know about that. No, Charlamagne the God and Neon, I mean, both of them is a certain level of irritating. But I wouldn't say them motherfuckers is nothing alike at all. Like, nah, I don't know about that, pimp.
Degenerate stuff in their career, and they had to face it. That's why I thought it was very interesting that he would go there, because Charlamagne, like he did throughout the interview, would show to be somebody that Neon and a bunch of these other streamers could learn from. He acted as an image of their future. You know, hey, I've learned from it. You can still be a troll, or you can still come out of that troll environment and ultimately have a long and successful career.
I do want to say I'm glad that you learned early what so many people, including myself, learned late. You know what I mean? Because there is no value in shock. And if you didn't make the pivot, you probably was going to end up getting punched in the face, or even worse nowadays. You know, and like you said, you know, you wouldn't have the career that you have now, because now you're getting brand deals and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm never going to judge a young person for what they did when they were younger.
So as Neon...
That's bullshit. They judged that nigga that whole interview. They judged that young nigga that entire motherfucking interview, bro. I mean, I get it to a certain extent, but it's just like, bro, that nigga young as fuck, bro. Like, let that nigga learn make his mistakes, bro. Like, they iced this nigga the whole interview.
Gets up on this platform, naturally they are going to ask him about all the transgressions that he had, because this is the purpose of this tour. What people don't realize is that a lot of this stuff is produced. Not even a lot of it. All of it is really produced beforehand. Neon's team, Breakfast Club's team, etc., etc. They're having conversations before. This is a professional environment. So we knew what was going to happen. It's the same thing that happened on every other platform, just with the Breakfast Club twist. And while it might have been aggressive because it is the Breakfast Club, this interview was still going exactly how it was supposed to go. You're gonna get pressed while doing press, and you're gonna dispute these narratives and these claims while the Breakfast Club acknowledges that, hey, you've changed.
So you are a testament to these young people who need to know who need to learn early what people like us learn late.
I will say this.
Period.
I do. If you really evolve and you're really changing, I respect it.
Thank you, bro.
Like Charlamagne
I
said,
agree.
sometimes we get crucified for things we did when we was younger and stupid, and we need to change. I know I myself did. I know Charlamagne did.
Same. You're living your life out loud.
And it ain't a problem. As long as you're really apologetic and change behavior shows everything, fuck everything else.
So you're obviously coming here to, and you probably gained some fans from this.
Thank you,
And
thank
gained
you.
a lot of haters from this as well, because it's hate.
It's really her. It's really her, bro. Like, Jess Hilarious got this weird sense of energy, bro. Like, I don't know if it's entitlement or like this. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it, bro. But she, for somebody who's done had so much going on, like she has in the past, bro. She really got she got a fucked up attitude towards other people who are still like growing. That's all I gotta say.
Everywhere, just like you can't control them hating on you in there. You can't control the love and none of that.
Ain't a problem. As long as you're really apologetic and change behavior shows everything, fuck everything else.
So you're obviously coming here to, and you probably gained some fans from this.
Thank you,
And
thank
gained
you.
a lot of haters from this as well.
I ain't gonna lie,
Because it's
Shawty
hate
get on
everywhere,
my
just
damn nerves,
You can't
bro.
control them hating on you in there. You can't control the love.
I don't
and
know
none of
why.
that.
Yeah.
So
I don't know
I
why.
do understand how you.
Jess Hilarious get on my damn nerves, bro, and I do not know why, bro. She irritate my motherfucking soul, bro. It's just something about her I just cannot stand, bro.
About it, I think you still handled it very well.
Thank you so
For
much.
you to be so young.
I'd love to come back in a year and you guys see all the growth and see where I'm at, and then y'all will be, and then y'all will be like, damn, he wasn't just talking.
I agree.
I think you should.
Now, was the Breakfast Club grilling or quote unquote interrogating Neon for the things that he had done in the past? Absolutely. However, he should have to face those questions. And like Charlamagne referenced in the video, hey, if you did it, you should be able to stand in it and, you know, dispel any narratives, dispel any rumors, which he's done throughout this year and in the past as he's been on his transformative journey. I think this ultimately went really well, especially considering this is the Breakfast Club and that's how they normally do interviews. But there was one
Her voice is aggravating as hell.
moment that stuck out to me that I thought was very, very pivotal and very, very interesting. I look back a lot at this interview and there were a couple things that stood out. One, Neon didn't have his phone out. He was not consuming chat. He was not looking at chat until one specific point, which leads me to number two, is that at some point in the middle of the interview, as they were getting to Neon's big announcement, Aiden Ross stepped in.
As a streamer, as a person, like I don't feel like a top dog, you know, I don't feel like one of the biggest.
Wait, let's get into the chat, because Aiden Ross, there's a comment pinned in here. He just commented and said, Neon, I promise you they trying to belittle you and disrespect you. You shitting on all of them. They are weird as fuck. Fuck them.
Talking about who?
In here, the chat is live in the Breakfast Club.
He's shitting
boy.
on them.
Anyway,
What you
go
talking
ahead.
about?
Now, from here is where the interview goes totally left, and it brings up a lot of talking points that a lot of young people need to be very weary of as they get into content creation, and especially as they decide which platform they're going to, which style of content they're going down, and what they want to be remembered for going.
I ain't gonna bullshit. I don't got nothing against Aiden Ross whatsoever, but I don't feel like I would want him as an ally on anything, bro. I just feel like having him in your corner probably does worse for you than it does good for you, unfortunately.
To the future. After that, the chat starts to go into a frenzy. And whose chat is it? I can't say, but especially from the perspective of those that are consuming the Breakfast Club content, you know, unks on their way to work who don't know anything about a chat and probably learned about it 2 seconds ago. These people are in Neon's chat, therefore they are associated with Neon. Racist remarks start flying. They start calling them monkeys and, you know, start saying that they are black, fuck black people, etc., etc. Which for somebody who is saying that they are changing the narrative about them, it would be easy for Neon to say that, yo, I don't have anything to do with that. I disown them. Yo, mods, ban them, etc., etc. But instead of doing such, in my opinion, was a good bit of deflection from him.
Like,
I'm not gonna lie, your chat is wild racist. though.
Yo, they
Stop
right
right
there.
there.
They like,
Fuck
oh, they
this
race
black
baiting
bitch,
you.
monkey, watermelon, emoji.
I'm literally looking and I don't see any of that. This is the internet. This is not just my chat, my community, right? This is the internet. The internet, just like me back then, would say whatever they want.
Yeah.
So this isn't like
That's a fact, bro. Like, they trying to condemn that man for some shit a million little ass ignorant kids are saying, bro. Like, that's not that nigga fault. Like, he don't control that shit, bro. They say the same dumbass shit in Snapchat.
Presentation to me, obviously.
From one moment he goes from denying that it's even there to the next moment he goes to saying that, hey, this is just a bunch of kids on the internet. Now, why I think that that's a bad look is because this is a moment to just
But it's true,
outright,
though.
flat out say, hey, I don't stand by this. I don't rock with this. Guys, ban them. Mods, ban them. We're not entertaining any of this. But now that the phones are out, it seems that Neon is more interested in the communal response to the situation as opposed to the interview, which, you know, he should be following the script of the interview. Side note, streamers use two excuses that I don't totally understand. Two things. This is not a reflection of me. This chat isn't a reflection of me, and that the internet is just the internet. I don't believe either of those things to be true. The chat is not a reflection of me. I'm sorry. People that find you entertaining for the content that you put out tend to be like-minded. They wouldn't be consuming the content if they weren't like-minded. So the reason why they are sitting there saying these things is because these things are assumed to be okayed by you, the community at large that you are a part of.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. Because I watch a lot of shit that I don't always necessarily agree with. Like, I see a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? I consume a lot of shit that I don't necessarily agree with. And just because I'm assuming it does not necessarily mean that, or even if I'm interacting with the shit, it doesn't even necessarily mean that, you know what I'm saying, I stand by what's going on what I'm seeing.
Or whatever the case may be, but it's still associated to you. They are ultimately a reflection of you because you are putting out content. They're finding it enjoyable. They're finding this relatable. That's how algorithms and things work. The internet just isn't the internet. If you go into the live chats of a lot of different content creators, you won't see a bunch of slurs being thrown. You won't see a bunch of racism being thrown. You won't see a bunch of just nasty and toxic and bad behavior. That's not something that's just an internet thing. That is something that is cultivated by the cultivator, aka the content creator. That's why I don't understand why streamers just, instead of saying that lame brain excuse, that quick cop out, they should just go ahead and say, hey, ban this person. I do not mess with any of this stuff right here, straight up, and we're going to be strict about getting away from it. But if you go through the comment sections of a lot of,
Bruh, have you seen the comments on these motherfuckers' chats, bruh? These motherfuckers just be... How the hell can you even read them shits, bruh? You gotta have a college reading level to catch every motherfucking chat that go through that bitch. And to be able to... Nigga, you gotta have quick hands to be able to scroll up and find some negative shit. Because I done seen comments that I wanted to go back to and make sure I read that shit right. And I can't find that motherfucker for shit within 3 seconds. And that's a fact. So how the hell are you supposed to do that?
people's videos, you don't see those things because that's not the conversation and environment that they cultivate. The reason why I think that this interview didn't pan out the best is because Neon
Me
had
too.
some
You ain't
sort of
the only
big
one. I be lost
announcement.
too.
It was made pretty clear in the interview multiple times.
Now you have a huge announcement you said you're gonna make, right? So you said you got a major announcement that you gotta make, right? All right, you about to make this announcement. What's your announcement?
What did you do? Hold on.
In coming here, right? I know you have your announcement.
Are you making Are you making your announcement here?
What's the announcement? What's the announcement? I already know what it
They
is.
don't want to give it to us.
But you see, Neon never gets to that big announcement. Why? That shift in the interview. As soon as he pulled his phone out, which previously was not out at the beginning of the stream, he all of a sudden gets his eyes and ears glued to what the chat has to say about him and this interaction. There's even a moment where he's talking about the perception of him in this chat that he does not agree with. It's a little bit of hypocrisy there, where he claims that they're saying that he is getting bitched. But Neon, all the Breakfast Club is doing in a grilling and joking manner is asking you about your past transgressions and giving you the opportunity and floor to denounce everything that's going on, and then giving you the lob to do whatever your big special announcement is, your moment, the moment that you are supposed to own. But instead, you let the chat, the one that you don't agree with, make you into some sort of victim on the Breakfast Club. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But I will say, for everybody else in the streaming community, that makes total sense. They feel like the Breakfast Club bullied him and that Neon got bitched.
I don't like how they're making it seem like, oh, it's a gift for you to be on our show. No, motherfucker. Y'all are getting blessed that he's on your show. You know how many new eyes are seeing this show because Neon's on it?
You're taking all their guests. All the guests that used to go on the Breakfast Club are coming on your stream. So
I think it's a give and take, and I think they might have missed the mark on, you know what I'm saying, being able to do that shit for the right way, for real. Cause that was a way for each of the worlds, like the world of radio and my bad. And the world of like streaming to collide you know what I'm saying, for each fan base to meet each other and interact with each other, and you know what I'm saying, like, bring it all in one place, you know what I'm saying, bring everything together. And instead, I think that shit kind of just like pushed everything away from each other, unfortunately.
If you're, a celebrity or an athlete, why would you sit down at 8 a.m. on this bad podcast that nobody's listening to anymore when you could go on Neon Stream? They're mad because you're taking their guests. Like, you're the future of media, sitting down, playing ball with you, going out getting food. Why would you sit there and just get berated by these, like, 3 old heads when they can just do some fun stream?
The reason why I don't like that perspective is because, like I said earlier, a lot of this stuff has been produced. Neon is understanding as to what is supposed to be going on and just allows the narrative to be ran with. Instead of addressing Sneeko, who, if you've been changing, you shouldn't be aligning with, you should be able to, stand up right then and there for your...
Funniest part about him calling them old heads, though, is... Okay, I can understand that, like, Charlamagne the God envy. But Just Hilarious 34. And the fucked up part is she the worst one. That's the sad part. She the worst part of that show, and she the youngest one. Unfortunate.
Haven't been getting bullied. Hell, you've done it in the past.
Let's go. Ah, fucking hell. You got towels, bro? Shorts, let's go. Just something, bro. Let's go. You want to do this? Let's go. Or I'm out. Yeah? Huh? Let's do an actual cold plunge, bro. I'm done getting humiliated on camera, bro. I'm 20 years old. What do I get out of a clip of me getting thrown in the ocean by a bunch of men, bro?
But instead of saying what is right, what is wrong, and standing up for yourself like you've done in the past, you kind of tuck tail, in my opinion. And the aftermath is that the internet is running with a bunch of different narratives. And don't get me wrong, I'm seeing you play into them in real time. There was a tweet that went out that said that, you didn't get your hand shook by them. Something that you kind of noted in stream. But when I went and researched the video, I don't see that being the case. They shook your hand after you left.
Alrighty, thank you guys so much for having me. Appreciate it.
You see the video saying you're gonna be on the show tomorrow, so he'll check it.
It was nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you as well. And they wouldn't even shake my hand, bro.
I think you got this one wrong, oh. They didn't shake that nigga hand. Real niggas know. If you know, you know. If a nigga reach in for that handshake, if you reach in for a handshake and a nigga give you one of these, nigga, you know what motherfucking nigga, you know what that mean. You know exactly what the fuck that mean, bro. Straight up.
They didn't even shake my hand. None of them.
Charlamagne dapped you up, dapped
Shay
the camera
Sarama.
person up, Envy dapped you up, and Lauren gave you a hug. Now, maybe it's because they didn't just full on shake your hand, give you pound, and do all the other stuff. But the way that it's spun on the internet makes
But that
it
what he
seem like
meant,
it's the most
though.
malicious thing in the world. And I don't.
That's what
I don't
he
like
meant,
that.
though, bro. That's exactly what he meant, though. When you go in and shake a motherfucking hand and they go back to give you a pound, that means they do not fuck with you. And he felt that shit in every part of him. That's just all it is.
The criticism on the internet is how people like The Breakfast Club can be so critical when they have the most checkered past in the world. Charlamagne has been accused, and I think the charges were dropped, but accused of great...
You say you just watched the craziest video? Link me that motherfucker. We on that motherfucker next.
DJ Envy has been basically caught. I'm gonna say accused because I don't know the truth.
Chris Cyber, what up? I'm
Scamming
doing
out
good.
Millions with his real estate friends, and Jess Hilarious is a terrible person. I've noted that on this platform before. I'm not a fan of Jess Hilarious. However, I think that it's really good for you to go on those types of platforms. The platforms in which, hey, these are people who have faced these past transgressions, like Charlamagne said, and have weathered the storm and have attempted to, at least in some regards. I'm not sold on Jess Hilarious, to right the direction of their current.
Bet we on that next. We're gonna see just how crazy that motherfucker is.
Careers. Yeah, DJ Envy cheated on his wife. I just felt the need to say that. But these people have done bad things in their lives and have righted the wrong and went down the correct path. Something that you claim to be doing. But in this interview, in which you had the opportunity to do such a thing, you let the chat hook you. You let the community that you're supposed to be disassociating with reel you back in a little bit. Like they were actually in your chat calling these people monkeys and saying fuck black people. And to put cherries on top of that, you're getting defended by Myron Gaines of all people on the internet, and then right after that you went to dinner with Sneako, who a large part of the community would say is
That is another nigga I would never want to be in my corner. I would rather you just not comment even if you on my side. I don't want that nigga in my corner at all. That nigga Myron Gaines, boy, that nigga be on the bullshit, boy.
truly, truly, truly terrible. Yeah, it can be your brother, but until you make that distinction and disconnect from these people, you're always going to be tied to them. It's almost like you're trying to have your cake and eat it too. So I ask to you, what's it going to be, Neon? Are you actually going to make the separation and distinction from this community that has been labeled properly so as toxic as hell? Or are you going to try to have one foot in and one foot out for people to criticize you on the internet and discover you ultimately for not being who you say you are becoming?
Well, my prognosis on that one, I ain't gonna bullshit you. They gave Neon ass the motherfucking business. Straight up.